What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on something, some statements that Ric Bucher made about LeBron James, right? And so the whole time, LeBron James has been going through, the GOAT and Bronny James and his situation with the Lakers. Most of the mainstream media, in my opinion, have not really been honest about LeBron James. They've been, I don't know, putting a spin on it and just saying things that a lot of people didn't believe or know that wasn't true, right? But throughout this whole process, one of the few people, in my opinion, who've been straight up and honest about this situation has been Ric Bucher. So, like these recent comments that Ric Bucher has made have pretty much been on, like on par with what he's been saying the whole time about LeBron James. So these comments that Ric Bucher just made about LeBron James and how it's over with, and really to me are not is not it's just par for the course. Is what he's been saying the whole time. What I've been saying the whole time as far as about LeBron James and how eventually it was going to come to this point where LeBron James wasn't going to have any leverage, and the Lakers were going to, they were going to let LeBron James go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the audio of what Ric Bucher had to say about LeBron James and his situation. Then I'm going to come back and give my input. So here we go with Ric Bucher.
All right, before I go, I do want to touch on the LeBron James situation because I've been wondering how this was going to play out ever since the Lakers acquired Luka Doncic and it became clear that they were ready to move on without LeBron unless he was willing to swallow a huge slice of humble pie along with a massive pay cut to stay in a Lakers uniform. How does someone who has had the incredible career that LeBron has had make an exit that befits who he has been all these years? Graceful exits, after all, have not been his thing. I had to smile when it was reported that LeBron had informed the Lakers he didn't intend to play for them next year, as if the Lakers weren't already planning for that to be the case. But kudos to the Lakers for allowing LeBron to present it that way and preserve some dignity on the way out. The Rich Paul propaganda about contacting every team in the league to determine the interest in LeBron is just window dressing. If teams were interested, he wouldn't have to reach out to them. It's a sign that LeBron and Rich are struggling with the new reality, which is that LeBron simply isn't valued the way he once was. He does not have the leverage he once did, which is not an indictment. No one is going to invest in a player who is turning 42 years old next season and comes with all the outsized attention and servicing that LeBron does. The only place that makes any sense is for him to return to Cleveland, where it all began. I can see the Cavaliers entertaining that because A, they have a very good team, but LeBron's playmaking and experience could give them a boost. And B, there isn't a player or personality currently there that is bigger than him. If he goes to Golden State, he is joining Steph Curry's team. And while it wouldn't be exactly like Kevin Durant joining the Warriors because they are no longer a championship caliber team, it would have the same aroma. We can argue all day long about who the bigger star is. Not the better player, but the bigger star. But we can't argue about the hierarchy. In the Bay Area, Steph was always bigger than KD no matter what he did, and the same would be true with LeBron. I seriously doubt LeBron wants to live that reality. If he did, he would have been more amenable to staying in LA. I also have no doubt that Pat Riley would entertain bringing LeBron back if he thought it would give the Miami Heat a better chance of winning. But this isn't LeBron going to join Chris Bosh and one of his best friends, Dwayne Wade, at the height of his power. This is joining Bam Adebayo and Giannis Antetokounmpo, two relative strangers, two guys who don't feel any particular allegiance to LeBron, two guys who are the true core of what the Heat are trying to build. LeBron would be an add-on, a complementary piece. Giannis has even thrown some shade LeBron's way by saying he's never been interested in joining a super team, that doing so is the easy way to chase a title.
So you heard what Ric Bucher had.
All right. So let me add this to this, right? Because the whole time that LeBron James has been saying, putting out these different narratives and these different messages, uh, like I really wasn't buying into it. Like as far as like LeBron having all these different options to go to all these different teams, most people laughed when they heard Rich Paul say that like 12 teams were interested in LeBron James, right? And now it could be 12 teams that are not contenders, like 12 teams that are in a position where they won't have an opportunity to challenge for, maybe not even make the playoffs, let alone try to challenge for championship rings. It could be 12 teams like that, but it won't be, like 12 teams that are like in the top half of the NBA, because the teams that do have uh, an opportunity or enough talent on their team where they chase for a ring, like LeBron James wouldn't be able to contribute anything substantial to those teams, in my opinion, right? So that was, a lot of people thought when Rich Paul said that, he was just like Ric Bucher said, just window dressing, just trying to put a spin on it. And as far as LeBron James running out of, not having leverage, I just think that this shows like how much like lack of foresight LeBron James and his team has had, right? Because you have to understand that like this day was going to come. And I agree with Ric Bucher. It's not a knock on LeBron James that he got old, right? But it is like kind of unfortunate that you didn't prepare for this day, right? And how you prepare for this is all throughout your career. You build bridges and you build relationships with people. So when you get to a point where you don't have the leverage, you still have the respect and the admiration of people, and people still want to do business with you. And so you don't have to worry about people trying to, some people may want to be, they want to have one up on you because the whole time you had one up on them, you exerted your power when you really didn't have to. It was understood that LeBron James had leverage and he had power. So why, unless you really needed to exercise that leverage and that power, why even do that, right? So that's where I think LeBron James missed the boat at, because as long as he's been in the league, he didn't take the opportunity to gain, like put himself in the good graces of people. Because I think when you have leverage and you have power like that, and you choose to take more diplomatic approaches to how you deal with people, how you deal with management, then sometimes you can expect a certain amount of loyalty from them. Not from everybody, but from somebody, from some people, right? And then so I agree. I just think that LeBron James going back to Cleveland, in my opinion, makes better sense because he can do his farewell tour there. He that's his home, so there's a connection with with the fan base there. There'll be a connection, so he could do a farewell tour there. Also, Miami. I don't even think that if unless LeBron James could definitely help them win a ring, I don't think Pat Riley was really interested in bringing LeBron James back to play with Bam and Giannis. I really didn't feel like that was, I just thought that was just talk. People just wanted just talking. I didn't really take that any too serious. Now, as far as going back to, if he were to go back to, to go to Golden State, I think going to Golden State, man, just would have made him look even more desperate, right? And so why go to Golden State when that's not even your team, and Steph Curry is the biggest star there. And so any success that LeBron James was to have if he played with Steph Curry, that would all go to Steph Curry because that's his team, that's his town. Same thing with Kevin Durant. When Kevin Durant went there, the fact that they had won a ring before Kevin Durant got there, and then they wanted a ring after Kevin Durant left, that really just cemented the fact that it was Steph Curry more so helping Kevin Durant get the rings than it was, the other way around. So LeBron James he don't have anything to gain for going to play with Steph Curry, and it just makes LeBron James look even more desperate. So I think, and I agree with Ric Bucher that that's the only play for LeBron James right now. It's the best play. I think it's for him to either retire or to go to Cleveland. And the only thing about Cleveland already put it out there a while ago that they didn't really have a lot of money. So LeBron James is going to have to take a substantial pay cut, if he wants to go to Cleveland. So yeah, but no one was recruiting LeBron like Rich Paul said, and he didn't have all those options. And now that he's out of leverage, it's just looking like LeBron James is desperate and he's begging, and so I think there's more to this situation because I think that like there are different reasons. I think there's more to the reason why LeBron James wants to play and stay in the league, right? And so I probably make some videos about that. But for right now, man, I just think that LeBron James is really looking desperate, and I agree with just about everything that Ric Bucher said. So that's my take. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a message or comment, and I will check you all out in the next video. Peace.